What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about creators and influencers and people that are paid to push a product. Can you trust them? Can you listen to a word they say, and is their opinion valid? Let's talk about it. Before we get into today's video, if you like this kind of content and you end up liking this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, stick around, do all the things that help me out as I'm growing this YouTube channel. If you're here and you follow me on all your other platforms, thank you. And if you're new here, you can find me everywhere at MotoJack. Now, today's video. Paid advertisement. It's everywhere. We see ads and commercials every single time we open our phone, turn on the TV, whatever it might be. It's not going anywhere and it's all around us. But is it really true that every single person that you see pushing a product can't be trusted because they're being paid? Unfortunately, it's just not that simple. Now, I work with a lot of sponsors, a lot of companies, NBT, Cardo, Insta360, several others. And one of the things that I get all the time in my comments is hate and negativity about sponsorships themselves. I get comments all the time like, sell out, never trust the sponsorship, why would I listen to somebody that's being paid to talk about X product, we can't trust you, blah, 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 blah. And it's super unfortunate, right? Because that is the mentality that most people have. So let's break this down. The idea that paid sponsors can't have valid opinions stems from the fact that people think that money corrupts honesty. This is what's called the financial bias fallacy, or the idea and belief that if you get paid to promote something, you can't be trusted. The problem is that it can be partially true. There are way too many sponsorships, paid advertisements, and influencers, creators that work with companies solely for whatever the paycheck might be and have no credibility whatsoever. Unfortunately, with that mentality, there's also a lot of hypocrisy. While saying on one hand that you can't trust a paid sponsor, they will also trust somebody just based on the amount of followers they have. For example, Yemi Noob over a year ago made a video about NBT. It was a very disingenuous and very dishonest video. He used pants that NBT was no longer even selling at the time to compare to other brands that I actually had tested before I even signed with NBT myself, and he compared them to the ones that they were currently making without using the ones that they were currently making. So it was very disingenuous. He did it purposefully, I think, right? Or just ignorantly. Either way, it's just as bad, because he didn't do the research that he claimed he had done, and he tested it on a product that they weren't even selling, not using their best and latest gear and tech to make a fair and honest review, right? But it got a ton of attention just solely for the fact that he's a large creator, right? So people just automatically trust him because he has so many followers, while on another hand, look at a video or look at an ad and be like, that can't be genuine because you're being paid. You also can be paid to talk negatively about a brand or a company. It can go both ways, right? You can get a paid deal from somewhere else. I can get a paid deal from Nike to make an ad, a smear ad about Adidas, right? Or something like that. So it goes both ways, and it's very unfortunate that people on one hand will say that source can't be credible, while on the other hand saying, oh, well, I trust him because he has more followers. Here's the thing. Sponsors choose the people that they work with based on their values. Don't you think that it would be in their best interest to choose a creator that's going to be enthusiastic or actually do the research and promote their product wholeheartedly, rather than just throw it out there with a bad opinion or throw it out not knowing if the product's actually going to be viable or good for their audience? The products that I talk about and the companies that I'm sponsored by, I use them first. Every single one of them, I used the product first and liked it, then went after a partnership. It wasn't the other way around. Most of the time what happens is these companies will reach out to an influencer, smaller ones, bigger ones, whatever it might be, and they'll offer them free products, monetary value, whatever, and it's an immediate yes, right? They don't do the research. They don't put in the time ahead of time to see if the product is actually valuable, if it's actually, quality, right? And then they're putting out advertisements. You can tell that they're paid advertisements. You can tell that there was no research done. There was no use of the product done ahead of time. And those creators and those kinds of people give The rest, a bad name.
A lot of creators turn down sponsorships from companies that they don't want to work with for simply that reason. You have to understand and remember that our reputation is on the line. And if we're putting out a product that we don't fully back or we're not all in on, it's going to hurt our reputation. And on social media, reputation is currency. Ultimately, it all boils down to trust. When you see an influencer or creator that has a track record of honesty and transparency with all the products that they're paid to endorse, or just products in general, the ones that they're not paid to endorse. If they like a product, whether they're paid or not, if they don't like a product, whether they're paid or not, those are the ones that you can trust. Make sure that you do your research, find those, and find the ones with the right track record. Don't just listen to anybody, but ultimately, it's up to you to do your own research to make sure that you're not being influenced. In conclusion, don't dismiss sponsored content just because it's sponsored. Like we talked about, it doesn't really matter if the person is getting paid or not to have an opinion if they've done their research. If they have a track record of transparency and honesty, they're going to tell you whether they like something, regardless if they're being paid or not. And that's what's most important.
That wraps up today's video. I hope you liked a little change of pace and a little different style of video. Let me know what you think about the bias and the sponsorships and just listening to people's opinions in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And again, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, do all the things. And until next time, be safe.